Hello, my name is Yusuf, and our pantheon is the Celtic Pantheon. And in the Celtic Pantheon, there are 15 major deities. The first one is Dagda. He is a leader of the Irish gods and goddesses. He is also the Irish god of life, death, agriculture, and fertility. He is also able to control the seasons with his magical harp. The second deity is Morrigan. She is the Irish goddess of death, war, and discord. The third deity is Lugh, and he is the Irish god of kings, justice, and rulership, and he is also a master of all arts. The fourth deity is Su-Chulainn. He is a hero with superhuman strength, and he is a great warrior. The fifth deity is Danu. She is the mother goddess and ancestor of the Irish tribe Tuatha De Danann, also known as the tribe of the great deities, and she was also known as the wind and earth goddess.
Theranos. He is the god of wild places and beasts. He is a mysterious deity, as most of his original mythos has been lost to history. Brigid. She is the goddess of spring, fertility, and life. Many of Ireland's waterways and wells have been devoted to her. Angus. He is the god of poetry and love. He was a crafty and inspired god. Pereduin. She was a white witch with the power of Olwen. She had the power to create life-altering potions. Arwan, the Irish god of the realm of Onwin. Onwin is essentially the equivalent to the underworld.
Alright guys, let's get into our last 5 gods of the Celtic Pantheon. The first one is Calit. She's a goddess of winter. And then we're going to have Gwydion. She's a trickster deity. And then we have Med, the queen of Connacht. Bad, Bad is the goddess of war. And we have Nuada, who is the king of the Tuatha De Danann. Anyways guys, let's get into our first myth. It's called the Isles of Destiny. This myth would start out with, like many other creation myths, a void. From the void we got form. From form it turned into earth. From the earth came out a mighty oak tree. This oak tree would be watered by the river of heaven. And out of the oak tree fell 2 acorns. The first would be the mighty spear of the Danu, the Dagda. The next would be Brigid. She was the goddess of fertility. Anyways, so the two decided to build 4 great cities along this river, and each city would house the children of the Danu, as well as a powerful artifact. The city thrived and the people flourished. However, one day, the Dagda decided he wanted his people to live on an island where the sun would set on them. So he grabbed his greatest warriors and he had them set out on a journey. The greatest warriors did find an island. However, on this island lived a group of people. These people would be known as the Firbolg. The Danu and the Firbolg decided to set terms for the negotiations. The Danu wanted half of Ireland, the Firbolg refused. This led to battle. However, battle with the Celtics was different. They were very honorable. So battle started out like this. They decided on when they would fight, how long they would fight for, and the two built weapons for each other, showing the equality and how honorable they were in battle. Anyways, let's get into it. So the two would fight, the Firbolg and Danu, going head on head, clashing. They were stuck in a stalemate before everyone stopped to stand in a circle to see the two champions fight. First would be Shreng of the Firbolg, and then we have Nuada, the king of the Danu. The two would fight neck and neck, clashing, striking, blows happening. And then Shreng came and he struck Nuada. Nuada blocked, however Shreng sliced through the shield of brothers, cutting Nuada's whole right arm. And you would think Nuada would be finished. However, the mighty Dagda appeared and he grabbed Nuada, and he took Nuada to Dion Chef. Dion Chef was the god of healing, and he made Nuada a new right arm, all made of metal. And back in the battle, you would think that the Danu would give up when their leader is gone. However, fresh, strong-willed, would grab Nuada's right arm and raise it in the air. Enraged, the Danu attacked the Firbolg, slaughtered them, with the last 200 left being led by Shreng. And then came Nuada, and again, Nuada and Shreng would meet center circle. However, this time they could not fight. Nuada was impure. But however, seeing the bravery and honor of the Firbolg, Nuada decided to let them live instead of killing them all. And he allowed them to choose one province out of the island, and they chose Connacht. And there was only one thing left to do for the Danu, and that was to choose a new ruler. You see, they valued tradition. And Nuada was no longer pure of body. He had a metal arm. And so they decided they needed a new champion, a new leader. And they were quick to choose Bresh for his bravery and his smarts. However, you will later learn in another myth that Bresh is not pure.
the Celtic origin myth, we see the archetype, the hero, by Brasinuda. Bress is on the shadow side, as he helps the Fomorian race more than a Danu, and he rules a Danu in a very violent way. Nuda is more on the lighter side of the spectrum, as he confronts his problem like strength, and he just goes straight on, and then on top of that, he let him live after he took his arm as a good leader. We also see caregiver by the Dagda and Brigid, as they build big cities for people to live in, and they care for the people within those cities.
Alright guys, let's get into the cultural values of the Celtic. We're going to start off with the myth, the Isles of the Destiny. In this myth, we know that the Celtic value nature a lot. For we know that their two leaders, the Dagda and the Brigid, came from the eight corners of the first mighty tree. So we can infer that they do value nature. Also, we know that they value equality. For example, when the Firbolg and the Danu would set terms for battle, they'd make sure everything was equal. The number of soldiers, weapons, where they would fight, and for how many days they would fight. We also know they value traditions. So the leader of the Danu had to be pure of body, and when Nuada's arm was cut off, they were quick to replace him because he was no longer pure of body. It shows how they value their tradition and stick to them. We also know that they value honorary and bravery. When the Firbolg, the last 300 of them, would not give up, for them to keep going shows that they knew the means of the war. It shows that they were honorable and brave to the Danu. And for this, Nuada rewarded them a providence in the island. We know that all these traits, they define who the Danu are, and it's what they value.
The myth that I'll be talking about today is the myth about Dagda and his magical harp. There were two tribes at war, the Tua Dianan and the Fomorians. And there was this battle where his magical harp was unguarded, and the Fomorians ended up stealing his harp, thinking that this would bring the downfall of the Tua Dianan. And they ran away to an abandoned castle, and unfortunately for the Fomorians, the Tua Dianan ended up pushing the Fomorians out of Ireland, and Dagda eventually found the castle that they were staying at with the harp. When he entered the castle, he saw that the harp was hanging on a wall, and the Dagda called for the harp. The harp sprang off the wall and ended up killing 9 Fomorians, and when he retrieved the harp, he played 3 notes. He played a note of sadness, a note of happiness, and a note of sleep. The first note made the Fomorian children and women cry and weep. The second note made them have an uncontrollable laugh, and then the third note made them fall asleep.
In the harp myth, the archetype we see is a hero archetype. We see this when the Dagda easily conquers the Fomorian race. These are attributes of the hero, as the Dagda overcomes obstacles and achieves his goal of getting his harp back.
Alright guys, now we're going to look at cultural values of our second myth. This myth is known as the harp. So in this myth, we know that the Celtic value music. The Dagda has a harp, and when he plays the music, he's able to have his soldiers forget and prepare them for the battle, and he's even able to set the seasons in place, and he's able to heal his soldiers. He weaves all this power through the music. And the second thing we know that the value is that the Celtic value each other. The Dagda got his name Allfather because he was a caring person towards his people. We know that the Celtic value each other as people.